Hi, welcome to the Subversive Stitch knitting podcast. My name is Anna Marie. I guess this is like a knitting podcast, but it is often more like textile based than just specifically knitting. But I do have some knitting stuff to talk about this podcast episode. I don't really know where to start with what I got to show you. Let's start with like spinning related stuff. So I have these 4 skeins to show, and I dyed these with onion skins. It's like the first time I've ever done any like dyeing, natural dyeing, blah blah. I felted these. Like, I'm pretty sure they're all felted. Like, they don't feel like completely unusable, I guess, but it's not like good. And when I compare the texture from this, which is the full skein that I spindle spun in August 2024. Oh yeah, full Tour de France fam. The texture of it is quite different, and like this is just so, yeah. So I'm not really sure what to do with this, but it was an interesting experiment. I mean, I'm kind of allergic to this yarn, and like in its felted form I feel much less allergic, so you know, that's something. But I'm not really sure what to do with any of it really. And I don't really want to just like have a bunch of yarn that is like not useful to me that I keep. So I don't know, we'll see. And there's like kind of a chunk of it now, so I did try to dye these like to varying degrees, so it would be like one of them would be like darker or like stronger, and then the others would be lighter, but that also didn't really happen. I mean, I don't think you can tell any difference. To be honest, they look quite uniform, which is also kind of nice, I guess, if that's what you were going for. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. And now I've got stuff in my hair. Yeah, I enjoyed learning what not to do, I guess. Other spinning related stuff includes some more green spindle spun yarn. I showed this in like, I don't remember when, but like in one of my past episodes, this collection of hand spun green yarn, because I have this resolution to make something green, like knit something green. It was how it was originally phrased for this year, and I have not really done that yet. I've maybe knit some stuff with bits of green, but none of them have been like fully green, and like that was sort of the idea. And I ordered some various greens for when I was needle felting some S-rugs, which I showed in, I guess, like 2 podcast episodes ago or something. Just these like citrus fruits, and I wanted a bit of green to put like the leaves and also the like piton at the bottom and like stuff like that. It doesn't really matter, but I got like a, you know, one of those like 6 color bags to test out to see if any of the colors were good. And so from that I like kind of like split it up into like bits, and I made this with it, which I actually think came out really well. Like this yarn, or like, sorry, the fiber, like, it's not made for spinning, like it's not. So I don't think it's like, but honestly, like, look at that. I haven't like thwacked this or anything, so it's still a bit like curly and stuff. And there's definitely, you know, I've just been kind of like vibing, and like, so, you know, it's very like thick and thin. It's not, yeah, cohesive. That's not quite the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean, hopefully. I think like the colours are like really great. I really like the mixture of different greens. So I think I am going to keep making some more of this. And I guess that also kind of connects with like the project that I now have in mind for this yarn. This is the like little random swatch I made, but I don't know what I just was like, oh, I want to knit it up. But yes, now I do kind of have like a sense of what I want to knit this into. So that's really good. And that is these like arm warmers. I think I saw originally Retro Claude was knitting them for like maybe a Ko-fi giveaway or something like that. They're called ratjeto. It's like a Dutch word for hodgepodge, which I also thought was kind of cute, because I called this my like hodgepodge green yarn, and then like maybe the project that I make with it will be also called Hodgepodge. It has like lots of different like textures and patterns and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll like fully follow all of the stuff, but yeah. And I did also like, I have some more that I applied, but this one didn't really work out at all. I was like, did I manage to apply this the wrong direction? I mean, it's looking like I did. So I think I'll have to reapply it. I don't know what was happening here. Anyway, sometimes you just get into the zone and you just keep going even if you're like, is this right? And like, it's over-plied too, but then it's also kind of like not really plied. Anyway, all a learning experience. Yeah, this is just like a little bit of it, and then I have like quite a lot left of this fibre. I do kind of also want to work on how I'm like splitting it up and like getting it together, because I mean, I do think this works in terms of like how mixed up it all is, but I would like to maybe do it more properly, if that makes sense, and like, as opposed to, I just have been like kind of randomly grabbing another colour and then adding it in, but I quite like it when they're like properly mixed together. So yeah, anyway, it's all experimentation, it's all learning. Sorry, I just sneezed. But like, yeah, I was saying that there's like 6 different colours of green in this. Some are like more or less green than others, I feel. I mean, this one is maybe the most yellowy, and then like this one's obviously like the darkest green, but there's definitely still a green. And then some of them are maybe a bit more grey, like this one is a kind of a grey green. This one's also like very bright, and like it is a green, but it feels very like bright. Anyway, so yeah, I think as like a project, I'm happy with how it's coming along. Like, it's kind of fun. The main kind of worry and concern, I guess, with it is that like this fibre is not, like, I don't know what this fibre is. I guess it could be merino, but I don't know. But either way, like, yeah, it hasn't been prepared to be spun, so I'm sure that like I'm not sure so much about like the strength of it in terms of like when I do knit with it. And yeah, so I'm kind of prepared for it not to work, and that's okay. Like, I don't mind. It's an experimentation, and like this like fibre that I bought, like, it's not going to get used for anything else, because like I don't have any plans to like needle fat anything specific with it anymore. And like I said, it wasn't useful for what I thought it was going to be for. So I do also have this other wow, there's quite a lot of this one. There's more of it than this one. This spindle spun yarn, which like just is crazy gorgeous to me, even though it's grey, which is like a crazy thing for me to say. But I also was like, well, maybe I could put this also in the like rat yato, however you say that, almomas, because that could be kind of cute, that it would be like a spindle spun project, you know. I don't know, we'll see. How does this all look together? Oh wait. How does this all look together? I mean, it looks okay. Yeah, you know, green, grey. I don't think I am going to finish it like in time, or start it in time for the end of the year, but that's okay. I feel like the fact that I have actually spun something green isn't like good enough. Like, I would have preferred to have knit like a full garment, but I do feel like it's a cool thing that I did. Especially because this year was really the year that like I began to properly like spin things, and like next year I do have a goal to like get like spin on my spinning wheel, as opposed to my spindle, which I got a spinning wheel. I found it like quite difficult. I returned to trying out the spindle, and then I have like kind of not mastered, but like, you know, got spindle spinning to some degree. And now it's time, I think, to return to the spinning wheel and like focus on that. And I do have like a big project that I'm going to be doing with that, which I have talked a little bit about before, with the Zwartbles fleece. I mean, not a full fleece, but like yeah, it was on sale, like bits and bobs from a place in Yorkshire, like just a place that had like 2 or 3 sheeps or something. So I like have a bit of that fibre to prep and spin, and that's, yeah, what I'm going to hopefully be doing on my spinning wheel next year. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I think that kind of does nicely. Also, sorry, my fringe looks kind of bad. Like, it's obviously very long, and I've been trying to re-dye it green, but it has not been working. Green. Clearly, I'm finally trying to get that green in. No, so I have 2 projects that are potentials for things that I'd like to try and finish before the end of the year. One of them, the reason being, is that it actually is a green project. I believe I started this 2 years ago now. I don't think I've knit on it since then. It is the Perrock shawl by by Marina Skua, and it has this like diamond motif. Let's see, yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's really nice. So I just have one skein of this green, and I think this project is a 2 skein project, as far as I remember. And also, because it's a shawl and it's not a garter stitch shawl, it's got a lot of purling in, and obviously it has more and more purling as you get more and more into it, which is not something that I like. And you'll see that the other project to show also has quite a lot of purling. I don't have like the thing about this yarn, but I think this is yarn from Fable Knitwear, maybe like Ask in Lothlorien or something like that. It's like a fingering, I guess. I don't know. I do really like it. I think it's a really nice colour. And yeah, I guess like the hope is to finish this project. Who knows when. But like it's nice. I think the other thing that's like stalling a bit is like I don't really wear shawls. Like I could, I guess. Maybe I'll get like into wearing it with this. But I don't specifically. I do have one person in mind who like I could maybe give this to when I've finished with it, because she is more of a shawl person, but I'm not really sure if I want to do that. Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know. It's not looking likely, I guess, is really the thing. When I was like, oh, I should talk about it because it's a potential, and then as I've been talking about it, I've been kind of like, it's not gonna happen, is it? I don't know, like it could, but it's just like, I mean, the other project might also not happen, but at least with the other project, which looks like this mess, there is the potential to get out of the purling section, which, you know, makes me much more inclined to get to it. So I've definitely shown this before, but basically this is the Can Do cardigan, ironic because I can't do it, by Lydia Morrow, who I just love, and I feel so bad for having not finished this, but yeah. So this is like the front. It's like gonna be cropped length. Obviously it's gonna have sleeves, and I've done both sides of the front, aside from, you know, like the finishing stuff. It really looks like nothing. And then I've got like the back to knit, and I guess I'm like at the armholes. Should we try and see how far up I've got left to go? Okay, I don't know, I've got like quite a while to go, I guess, still. But then once I have finally finished like the back piece, then I can join the shoulders and then knit in the round for the sleeves. And that is obviously knitting in the round, so there's no purling in that. So yeah, like I could, I don't know, I mean, holding this up now, I do feel like that seems like a possible goal, and like also I would kind of like to, because it would be nice to finish this. It's been on my needles for a while now. I think I started it when the test knit was on, which was like in February, maybe January, so it really has been a while. I kind of did lose my knitting like impulse for a while this year, which I mean like does kind of happen, I guess. You go in cycles, but it was also a shame because I got some really nice yarn that I haven't made anything with, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there's this, and like I think I'm gonna commit to making progress on the back. I don't know that I can say that I'll finish it before the end of the year, but I think if I could start next year just having the sleeves to do, that would be like really excellent, and I think I could probably like really get through that and like finish it off. And if I run out of yarn, which I don't really feel like I will, but if I do, because I'm holding it double, I can just make the sleeves like fun, stripy, different colours, like that's fine. Yeah. Alright, well I guess talking that through, I've really made my decision up, and this poor shawl is being left for yet another day, and yet another year. Okay, other things to chat through. Mari, if you're watching this, stop watching now. I have this bub bonnet, also a Lydia Morrow pattern. Like an excellent, and it's almost done. I mean, it actually kind of is almost done aside from the horns. And I've like put some flowers? No. I've like put some hearts on the back, and like this heart is really terrible, so I'm gonna like embroidery around it to make it better. Because I made it really small, and then I was like, wait, that's way too small, but then I didn't want to go back once I'd realised. And yeah, and there's also going to be like a heart here too. I just didn't have the yarn at the time, so I just kept knitting, which maybe I'll regret as a choice, but that's okay. Also, I haven't really done embroidery, what's it called, the embroidery stitch and stuff, but you know, there's a time to learn, and the time is clearly for gifts. But yeah, I'm finally, you know, in the round knitting with this, so that's nice for me, considering, like I said, I do not like purling, and it's more than just a dislike, like it makes it harder for me to knit, like it hurts, blah blah blah, but you know, and yeah, I'm hoping to finish this like in time for January, because that's, I think, when we're gonna see each other to give presents and things. But yeah, it's like also quite nice because it's like a small little project that feels like doable, which I have really mostly been doing this year. Like I guess I've done a couple like more like self-drafted things, but even then they've been quite small projects, which I suppose is also why the Can Do cardigan has felt like a bit out of my league, really. And then also, yeah, because it is a bigger project and then I've been stalling on it, I feel like maybe that's also why I've tended towards smaller things. I do have a finished object to show, which is this, which is a, oh, where did I put my hairband? There we go. It's another like Material Girls, what's the word, like hair tie, and this time I will show you what it looks like on. I just was like trying to see if I could make a stripy black and white one, and so that's what I came up with. And yeah, it looks like this. I'm not like completely convinced by it, but I think it's kind of cute. I guess like today it kind of matches with what I'm wearing. Like I'm not like displeased with how it came out. It's like a lot thicker than the other one that I originally made, like in terms of like, it's like thicker in terms of like the yarn, but it's also just thicker in terms of like the length too, which like I kind of didn't think about. I was just concerned about not being able to do it and stuff, I don't know, and then I didn't want to undo it, which is clearly a theme for me. I do think because I have had a hard year like knitting wise, that like stuff where I have to maybe like redo it, like I've just like been trying to like completely avoid that, because yeah, because I have been struggling with knitting. Yeah, so those are like the sort of works in progress and the potential plans and, you know, one finished object. Also, I wanted to talk briefly about like another project I have, which I have in mind for. It's for this selection of yarn, and I think I kind of want to make like a vest. I can't remember what the one that I think I'll follow, but also I might not follow, is called. But the idea is that this, which is like the leftovers of a knitting for olive silk thing that I bought for like a cute collar I made last year, I think. This is like the leftovers from that, so that will be like at the top. It's just gonna be literally like kind of a vest, I guess, but like not with any of the like vest like things, you know, like no ribbing, stuff like that. Like I'm not interested in that, just like very simple plain, except from the colors hopefully. So yeah, there'll be that. Then I've got this pink. Then I was thinking that I could stripe smaller bits of this, which has like a range of different colours, but it's really nice. It's a Woolly Mammoth Fibre Company natural sock, and this is like a nettle sock yarn, like onion knit nettle sock yarn, which is 70% wool and 30% nettle fibres. So yeah, then like this, and then because I'm going to run out of this clearly, I thought I could supplement it with this and use that instead, or like once I've finished the onion. Then I also thought maybe the green would look kind of good, so again like striping in and out, with this one being like smaller stripes but like, yeah, more consistent. And then I also thought like perhaps at the bottom I could put this, I don't know, we'll see. This is also obviously me like trying to scrounge around to like you know, finished bits and bobs of yarn without buying any more yarn. These two were both in the self-drafted raglan that I made this year, although this one I obviously didn't use very much of at all. And I actually think there is another pink colour that I have that is a bit like this, which is like an onion wool blend, which I don't remember where it is, but I could also use that, which I think I will need because I only have altogether with that about like 250 grams of yarn, and like the pattern I think needs like a bit more, but also we'll see. But yeah, I kind of am like excited by that plan. I think it will be good. I mean, the problem is that like you start to make plans, you get like a little bit obsessed with like a knitting pattern, and then because you're still knitting like a whole bunch of stuff, you can't actually start it, and then you kind of like don't want to knit the things that you're currently starting. I mean, that you're currently knitting. So then you get, yeah, like more and more stuck, I guess. That's kind of how I feel a bit, I guess. But I think it would be silly to just start everything I wanted to, because that would be like really overwhelming as well, and then I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. So, you know. Anyway, I think, gosh, look at that green. Like, that is a good green, isn't it? But like, ignore how badly and weirdly like applied it is. Like, just, yeah. I think that's everything I had to share today. Let me know what your final plans are for the like rest of this year, I guess, and the beginning of next year, and or if you like met your goals. I do think I did fairly well with some of my other goals. Like, I don't feel that I didn't. Another goal I have for next year, maybe I will make a video where I talk about more in depth like what my goals are, but I did want to say that, yeah, one of my other goals, so spinning wheel is one of my goals, and then also like Jalagan spinning is also one of my goals for next year. I think that will be really fun. Okay, and so finally I think we're finished, and yeah, I will, you know, I hope that I've been nice company if you've been like making or knitting something whilst I've been chatting. Yeah, I will talk to you when I next talk to you. I don't know how I sign these videos off because I make other videos and I say that with those. I feel like I shouldn't say the same thing, but it doesn't really matter. Bye.